When people hear the word disability, they often picture something physical: a wheelchair, a guide dog, a prosthetic limb, something they can clearly see. But what about the ones you can't? Autism is a neurological condition that affects how a person communicates, experiences the world, and connects with others. But most of the time it leaves no visible mark. This invisibility creates a barrier of misunderstanding, because if people can't see it, they may not believe it's there. Many autistic individuals report having their diagnosis doubted simply because they appear too articulate or too high-functioning. This contributes to the erasure of autistic identities and leads to emotional exhaustion due to the ongoing need for self-justification. Encourage viewers to challenge their assumptions. Just because a condition isn't visible doesn't mean it isn't valid. In Brazil, as in several other countries, people with autism have the legal right to priority service, in lines, at banks, in public offices. But what happens when an adult autistic individual, who doesn't look disabled, uses that right without visibly identifying themselves? Often they are met with suspicious looks, or worse, passive-aggressive comments like, "You look fine to me," or "must be nice to skip the line." These moments aren't just awkward, they can be deeply harmful. They turn a right into a confrontation. A man enters a pharmacy and walks directly to the counter. The clerk explains there's a line. When he says he's autistic and has priority, others in line scoff. One even whispers, "Everyone thinks they're special now." The man walks away in shame, deciding not to speak up again. Teach viewers that legal rights exist for a reason, not for privilege but for equity. If someone invokes a right, assume their reason is valid unless proven otherwise. Every day, autistic people are judged not for who they are, but for how they behave under pressure. They may avoid eye contact, struggle with loud places, fidget in unfamiliar environments, or appear detached in conversation. But what many see as rude, cold, or strange is often an autistic person trying their best to regulate their senses and emotions. A woman in a supermarket starts stimming, rhythmically tapping her fingers, as the sounds and lights become overwhelming. A nearby shopper pulls her child away, saying, "Stay away from weird people." She overhears it. Her meltdown begins silently. Explain that meltdowns, shutdowns, and self-soothing behaviors aren't signs of disrespect. They're coping mechanisms. Instead of judging, offer patience, or just don't stare. Wearing a lanyard, a bracelet, or a visible ID can help others recognize autism. But not everyone wants that visibility. For some, disclosure brings relief. For others, it brings stigma, invasion of privacy, or even discrimination. The decision to identify as autistic in public isn't easy. It's not about shame, it's about safety and autonomy. Many adults with autism fear being infantilized or treated as less competent when they disclose. For those in professional or formal environments, it may feel too risky. Let viewers know, never demand someone to prove their disability. Respect the decision, whether visible or not. Listen first. Judge never. Imagine waiting in a long line, barely holding it together. The lights are too bright, the sounds too sharp, people too close. You ask for help and get eye rolls instead of compassion. Now imagine someone says, "Take your time," or offers you a calm space nearby. That changes everything. Empathy isn't complicated. It's not about solving things. It's about pausing judgment long enough to understand someone else's reality. If someone seems distressed or overwhelmed, offer support quietly. "Can I help in any way?" Teach children that different behavior doesn't mean bad behavior. Advocate for sensory-friendly spaces in public settings, like quiet hours in supermarkets or waiting areas with dimmed lights. Autism affects millions of people around the world. In every language, every culture, every city block, some speak, some don't. Some love hugs, some hate them, some need silence, others crave rhythm. Each person is different, each voice valid. If you don't understand someone's behavior, maybe it's not for you to judge. Maybe it's a cue to be kind. You won't always see the struggle, but you can always choose to see the person. Let's build a world where invisible doesn't mean ignored, where rights are honored and respect automatic.